Hey, what's going on everybody? Jason here, and welcome back to another Vanguard video. Today we have the complete Season 4 roadmap for Vanguard and Warzone. There's a lot to cover in this video, so I think without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So real quick before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this article, here is the overview, here is the roadmap itself. We have all the new Warzone updates, Vanguard zombies with Shino Numa, new weapons, new operators, new maps, and more. So now let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so starting things out here on Warzone, because this is definitely a big Warzone-centric update here. We have Mercenaries of Fortune for Warzone Season 4. New map, Fortune's Keep, Caldera updates across the island, armored SUVs, new contract and more, and 3 Warzone maps to drop into. Fortune's Keep, Rebirth Island, and Caldera coexist, all for free via regular weekly playlist rotations. So there's your confirmation, everybody. Rebirth is not being replaced. All 3 of the maps are going to be active at the same time in Warzone. And that's some really big news actually, because a lot of people were thinking that Rebirth Island was just going to be completely replaced. So there we go, all 3 maps are going to be playable. Moving on in the article, it also gives us a few details about some of the points of interest for Fortune's Keep here. So if we scroll down, we have the town. Inspired by colorful Mediterranean villages, this seaside community is littered with cobblestone alleyways and flat rooftops to traverse across. An old fortress sits in the town's center, inviting operators in for intense combat with its bell tower that commands this section of the map, and I really hope the bell tower doesn't become the new camping spot of this map. Other notable sections include a coastal path with a gazebo and a graveyard that seems to have been grave robbed multiple times over. Next we have Smuggler's Cove. Legend has it that pirates from centuries ago used this island to hide their treasures. True to its name, Smuggler's Cove is loaded with supplies, including gas masks that could be helpful in case of a circle collapse. Be prepared to explore the twisting sea caves, grotto that see sunlight through the massive holes in the earth, a small collection of fishing huts, and a lighthouse. Now moving on to the keep, which I can only assume is where all this gold is going to be held. Let's go ahead and read further. The island's namesake, the keep is a medieval fortress now converted into the Mercenaries headquarters and hideout. Walk on the ramparts and take to the watchtowers to defend the area from invaders, but know that they can also easily fly over the walls using nearby redeploy balloons or sneak into the area using the island's tunnel system. So this sounds like a very interesting location. This might be the hot drop of the map. Here we also have some details about the winery, which this looks really nice actually. It looks like a really nice and scenic area, but let's go ahead and read further for this. A laid-back complex inspired by traditional 3-lane maps, the winery serves up plenty of scavenging opportunities and intrigue. Head to the cellar and stock up on supplies, or travel over to the nearby camp that contains a helipad and multiple military tents. Those looking for a more secluded start may want to drop in at the bay, which has routes over to the winery proper and the keep. So it sounds like the winery is actually going to be a pretty good place to drop at the start. So now that we went over some of the points of interest for Fortune's Keep, what else is going to be added to Warzone in Season 4? Well, there's a lot more to cover, so let's go ahead and read further. We have a new contract coming to Warzone, the Black Market Run contract. Get your hands on off-market loot by accepting the new Black Market Run contract, challenging you to reach the Black Market buy station before the timer expires. Spend cash on availables not available at normal buy stations or as ground loot, such as the Sequencer Grenade, the Nebula 5 minigun, Foresight, a specialist bonus, or one of the several classified weapons. A Nebula 5 minigun, that sounds extremely OP. We also have the Cash Extraction. During Resurgence Battle Royale matches, straggling mercenaries will attempt to airlift their cash off Fortune's Keep. You and your squad can ambush the extraction or just follow the flare signal and take out the agents to get at their bag of goods. But be on the lookout for enemy operators also looking to steal these mercenaries' riches. So this looks like a AI event, just like we had for the Nakatomi Plaza in Verdansk for the 80s Action Heroes event, and the AI bots that were in the Nebula 5 bunkers on Caldera. This looks like it's going to be something similar to that, but now mercenaries are trying to smuggle gold off the island. Now shifting gears over to Caldera, a fan favorite location from Verdansk is actually being added to Caldera, Storage Town. Let's go ahead and read about Storage Town on Caldera. Raven Software is bringing back a memorable piece of Warzone history as part of a large overhaul of the main Caldera map. Storage Town, the area that helped define nearly 2 years of Warzone in Verdansk, will see a new life on Caldera when it is added in between the mines, airfield, village, and dig site. It will be roughly as veterans remember it, a sprawling complex of lockers filled with with contracts, item spawns, as well as a few warehouses that allow for great views over the area. However, as part of Caldera, Storage Town will be near steep cliffs in the middle of the island. This additional verticality will add a twist to this fan favorite point of interest, making it a more viable rotation point when traveling between the map's western section. So there you go, everybody who loved Verdansk and everybody who dropped at Storage Town and liked the craziness that location provided, it's coming back to Caldera. Moving along in the article, we have some general updates and new features coming to Caldera. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have the armored SUV coming sometime in the middle of the season, and this is what it looks like. This looks like a pretty tough vehicle to go up against. We also have a new feature in ATMs coming to Caldera. Let's go ahead and read about this. There's only a couple sentences about it here. It says, get rich quick by searching out ATMs in Plunder game modes. Throughout the match, funds periodically spawn near ATMs to a maximum holding. Collect these bags of gold for a major cash boost. So this sounds like it could be a very interesting addition to Plunder. We also have a new piece of equipment being added to the game, the EMP grenade. Disable vehicles and disrupt enemy players and AI using the EMP grenade, a non-lethal tool that explodes in a short-lived area of effect. Affected players are stripped of their HUD information while vehicles are momentarily powered down. It also looks like we have a brand new Plunder game mode. For the longest time, we've been playing normal Plunder and Plunder Blood Money in and out of rotation, switching back and forth, and now we have a brand new Plunder game mode. This one is called Golden Plunder. What kind of self-respecting thief would rightfully call themselves a mercenary of fortune without bags of gold to prove it? Well, an opportunity has presented itself, and an island littered with gold is there for the taking. The new Golden Plunder limited time mode offers the Blood Money experience with more competition and a lot more glitz. Some of the changes players can expect to see include player count increased to 120 up from 100. Players drop more cash on death, and cash required for victory increased to 5 million. The greediest of the bunch can also explore either of the following options. Visit one of the malfunctioning ATM machines located on the map that seem to keep spewing out endless amounts of cash. Hunt down one of the infamous golden key cards, which is rumored to allow access to a bunker filled with all sorts of valuable new loot. Fair warning, only the wealthiest will be fortunate enough to walk away victorious. This sounds like a really fun game mode. As someone who likes to play Plunder, I really like that they're changing it up a little bit with this limited time mode. Unfortunately, it's a limited time mode, of course, and I wish game modes like this would stick around, but this sounds really fun to play. And now we have some information about the Mercenaries of Fortune event itself, because it's not just Season 4. Season 4 has a huge event in it where we're adding a new Warzone map, and it's all centered around gold and money and wealth, so there's going to be challenges to complete similar to Operation Monarch, Festive Fervor, and some of the other events that we've had in the past. Get rewards like new weapon camos, reticle, charm, emblem, sticker, and a legendary animated calling card. So this is actually kind of interesting where we're going to be getting weapon camos. Last time with Operation Monarch, we didn't get that, so that's kind of cool. Complete all 8 challenges to earn the coveted gold skin for the armored SUV. Ride around in this thing and there will be no mistaking you for a common mercenary. And now, moving on to something in this article that I didn't see coming, we have a brand new Rebirth Island competitive event happening on July 1st. It's called the Terminal List here, and it's going to be on Prime Video, and it's a series on Amazon Prime, which is kind of interesting. Fortune's Keep will share time with Rebirth Island during Mercenaries of Fortune, as top events like the Terminal List, Warzone Rebirth Island Tournament are set to showcase the world's best Warzone talent. On July 2nd, see 10 of the best teams from Australia, New Zealand, and Japan battle in a Quads Invitational tournament on Rebirth Island, with the best team winning the largest share of a $20,000 AUD prize pool. So this is kind of interesting. We're getting a tournament for some of the overseas fans out there, and obviously teams from Japan, Australia, and New Zealand are going to be competing in this, so I'm very interested in this, and I think I'll check it out. Catch all the action on Call of Duty's official Twitch channel, so if you don't have Prime Video, you can watch it on Call of Duty's Twitch. Now moving on, we have more on the horizon for the mid-season update. In addition to Titanium Trials, Endurance, an updated version of the highly competitive Iron Trials, expect plenty of Warzone content to keep you busy throughout Mercenaries of Fortune. We also have a little bit of information on what's going to be happening with Rebirth. Let's go ahead and check it out. For operators wishing to drop into Rebirth Island, contact appears to have been temporarily lost at that theater of combat. However, expect re-establishment of communications and access to this location shortly. Stand by for weekly playlist updates to curate experiences across the trio of playable maps, the brand new Fortune's Keep locale, Rebirth Island, and Caldera as the season gets underway. So something's happening on Rebirth. There's going to be some kind of interesting event, I think. So we just covered a crap load of Warzone information, so now we get to move on to the Vanguard information and what's going to be happening in Season 4. We have right here, Numa brings back classic round-based zombies. Battle through the swamps of Numa in round-based play featuring a new multi-step main quest, wonder weapon, and more. We also have a World War II multiplayer map returning to Vanguard. It says right here, embark on the high seas in USS Texas 1945. Battle on the decks and interior spaces of USS Texas 1945, launching at the start of the new season. We also have Blueprint gun game debut. The fan favorite mode is back. Be the first to progress through every weapon to win the match. So starting things off here in the Vanguard section with Numa coming back, we have the return of the classic Wunderwaffe coming to Vanguard here. We have a screenshot here. Zabala is in the map, unfortunately. I think a lot of people don't like Zabala, and the map definitely looks different. So let's go ahead and read. 13 years after its original release in World at War, the legendary round-based zombies experience Numa is returning as part of this free update to Vanguard. Team up and conquer the Swamp of Death in classic round-based zombies play, featuring a new main quest and side quests, a wonder weapon quest, fresh intel, and more. New main quest, Wonder Weapon. Wade through the swamps as you journey on a multi-step quest culminating in a devastating battle. Complete the quest in full to show off your prowess with a new calling card. Watch for hidden secrets throughout in form of multiple side quests waiting to be uncovered in the swamps. So it seems as if we're getting a boss fight here because it says a devastating battle will culminate here after the quest is done. So this is going to be very, very interesting. We also have another screenshot of Numa here for Vanguard. It looks like the Pack Punch camo right here. It looks kind of cool. And Numa definitely looks different. So I'm really looking forward to jumping into it next week and seeing what happens. Fast travel and classic traps. Tactically reposition yourself from the undead fast using Numa's zipline system, and when the horde is nipping too close to your heels, run them through the flogger or your electroshock defenses. Experience the map in a new way through Vanguard's unique features like exchanging your sacrificial hearts for upgrades of the Altar of Covenants and the Tome of Rituals. Keep an eye on this blog for a Numa map guide coming next week. So that's definitely going to be an interesting thing to learn about, how the sacrificial hearts work for Numa, because obviously for the objective based, you earn a sacrificial heart when you complete an objective. So are they going to give you a sacrificial heart every time you beat a round, or maybe every 3 rounds, 5 rounds, something like that? Because that would mean you get a sacrificial heart every single round and you can exchange your covenants every single round. I don't know if they would go for that, but I guess we'll just have to see. Moving on to the multiplayer side of things, we have the USS Texas 1945 coming at launch and Desolation in the middle of the season. Here's our first look at USS Texas 1945, and it looks like the USS Texas from World War II, so this looks kind of interesting. We also have another map coming in the middle of Season 4. This one is called Desolation. Deploy to a Pacific listening post in this small to medium-sized map set in a dense village littered with destruction. Large mountains and a vast landscape engulf the environment as you battle around the central building and along its creekside fortifications. We also have Blueprint gun game coming to Vanguard, which is definitely interesting. It's just gun game, but with all the new blueprints and stuff that are specific to Vanguard. And for all the people out there who play ranked, we have some brand new ranked rewards, and it looks like the rewards this time around are going to be a Car 98K blueprint and another MP40 blueprint. Now moving on to some of the other updates, we have a few new weapons coming to the game. The first one being the Macro 5, a high mobility submachine gun accurate from the hip with excellent close range stopping power. For the highly mobile, aggressive player, there are a few better options than rushing into battle with the Macro 5 SMG. It's great for pushing into objectives, as its high mobility allows you to run circles around the enemy while they struggle to get a beat on your position. Considering its relatively noticeable recoil and damage fall off at longer distances, the Macro 5 is best when fired from the hip at closer ranges. As the first SMG in Vanguard to feature the Akimbo proficiency, you'll soon wonder why you ever needed to aim down sights in the first place. Looks like we're getting the first Akimbo SMG in Vanguard, and this sounds pretty deadly actually. The next weapon that's being added to the game is the UGM-8. Who says an LMG has to slow you down? Combining high mobility with a high fire rate, the UGM-8 is ideal for players looking to keep pace with their teammates while offering suppressive fire. This thing chews through ammo, so be prepared to feed it. Boost your ammo capacity with one of several different magazine options, or grab fully loaded or the scavenger perk to prevent going empty in the middle of a fight. We also have the push dagger coming sometime shortly after launch, and it looks like this weapon is going to be unlockable via a challenge. In multiplayer, get 5 melee kills with a primary weapon. Hint, use the bayonet attachment on a primary weapon for better lunge, or the fast melee perk for quicker maneuvers. And the zombies challenge is, in zombies, get 100 kills with a melee weapon while shrouded by your ether shroud. Hint, the new Numa experience with interiors that could trap you with the undead often can be a great way to get kills. So there you have it, a new melee weapon with some new challenges to unlock that weapon. We also have the Vargo S coming in the middle of the season for Season 4 here, and it looks like we have an ancestor of the Vargo from Cold War. An essential Essential armament for versatile play. This workhorse assault rifle offers a high fire rate, steady aim through sustained fire, and a quick reload, and that's before adding any of its gunsmith attachments. Unlock both the Macro 5 and the UGM8 for free through the Seasonal Battle Pass system, more information to come. Unlock the Push Dagger and the Vargo S in one of two ways, through an in-game weapon-based challenge or via a store bundle to be released later this season, featuring a weapon blueprint from this weapon's family. And of course, it wouldn't be a new season without new operators, starting with Butcher, the cover operator for Season 4, coming at launch. We also have Calum Hendry coming sometime in the middle of the season, and we have Ikenna Olowe coming sometime in the season as well. Whew, that was a lot of information to cover in this video. There is a lot of stuff jam-packed in the Season 4, not just for Warzone, but for Vanguard, and I'm looking forward to jumping into it. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction for Vanguard when it comes to the seasons. I think the previous seasons weren't really the strongest, so all this new stuff coming to the game seems very interesting, and I'm willing to try it out. However, is it too late for them to be taking a step in the right direction? How many players are actually going to be sticking around to play all of the updates and to play Numa, to play the new multiplayer maps, try out the new weapons and things like that? So I hope people will be able to give this a chance, and you know what? I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I can have a good time with this. Because you guys know me, I try to be as optimistic as I can when it comes to Call of Duty, so if there's something new to try and something that might be good, I'll definitely want to give it a try and give it the benefit of the doubt. And of course, if something sucks, it sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give everything a chance because I like Call of Duty and I make Call of Duty content, so I want to give everything a chance, and let's see what happens on June 22nd. But what do you guys think of all of the content coming to Warzone and Vanguard next week on June 22nd? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Anyways guys, that's it for this video, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you're a brand new viewer, and check out all the links down below in the description so you stay up to date with everything that I do. And with that said, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world, and I'll see you guys next time.